Most people wake up and lose control of their mind within the first 5 minutes of the day. Not because they want to, but because they never learned how to take control of it in the first place. Before their feet even touch the floor, their brain is already running through problems, stress, unfinished tasks, and worries about the future. And what almost nobody realizes is that those first few minutes quietly shape the direction of the entire day. If your mind starts the day in chaos, your day usually follows the same pattern. Your focus becomes weaker, small problems feel bigger, your patience gets shorter, your energy drops faster. And by the end of the day, it feels like your mind was pulling you around instead of you leading it. But there's something interesting about the brain that most people ignore. Your brain is extremely sensitive in the first few minutes after you wake up. During that short window, your mind is still shifting from sleep into full awareness. The thoughts you feed it during that moment have a much stronger influence than thoughts later in the day. In simple terms, those first few minutes are like programming the direction of your mind. And if you use them intentionally, you can change how your brain reacts to stress, focus, and challenges. The good news is that this doesn't require an hour of meditation or a complicated routine. You don't need special tools, apps, or a perfect morning schedule. You only need 5 minutes. 5 intentional minutes that slowly retrain the way your mind works. And today, you're going to learn exactly how to do it step by step. Before we get into the routine itself, it's important to understand the problem this routine solves. Most people believe their thoughts are random. They think their mood, motivation, and focus just happen automatically. But that's not how the brain works. Your brain follows patterns. If you wake up every day and immediately start thinking about stress, work pressure, problems, and things that might go wrong, your brain learns something very quickly. It learns that morning equals stress. And once that pattern becomes automatic, it repeats every day without you noticing. Your brain wakes up and immediately searches for problems. It becomes easier to worry, easier to overthink, easier to feel mentally tired before the day even begins. But here's the key idea that changes everything. Your brain can also learn new patterns. If you guide your mind in the first few minutes of the day, you slowly train it to focus differently. Over time, this changes your baseline mental state. Instead of waking up stressed, your brain begins to wake up calmer. Instead of searching for problems, it begins searching for direction. And that brings us to the 5-minute routine. The routine is simple, but each step has a purpose. Step 1 starts the moment you wake up. For the first 30 seconds, do nothing. Don't reach for your phone, don't check messages, don't open social media. Just sit up or lie still and take 3 slow breaths. Most people start their day by flooding their brain with information. Notifications, news, emails, messages. This instantly puts the brain in reaction mode. But those first breaths do something different. They create space. Slow breathing tells your nervous system that you are safe. It lowers stress signals in the body. It allows your brain to wake up without immediately entering problem-solving mode. Just 3 slow breaths. That's step 1. Step 2 takes about 1 minute. Now ask yourself a simple question. What kind of person do I want to be today? Not what tasks you need to finish, not what problems you need to fix, but who you want to be. Calm, focused, patient, disciplined? Most people never ask this question, which means they spend their day reacting instead of deciding. When you choose the type of person you want to be, your brain begins looking for ways to behave that way. It's like setting the direction of a compass. For example, if you say, "Today I want to stay calm," your brain becomes more aware of moments where calmness matters. If you say, "Today I want to stay focused," your mind becomes more alert when distractions appear. This small mental decision changes how your brain filters information throughout the day. Now we move to step 3. This step takes about 90 seconds. Close your eyes and imagine one situation that might challenge you today. Maybe it's a meeting, a conversation, a task you've been avoiding. Now imagine yourself handling that situation calmly and clearly. See it happening. Imagine what you would say. imagine how you would act. Imagine staying steady even if the moment becomes stressful. Your brain doesn't completely separate imagination from real experience. When you visualize actions clearly, the brain begins preparing for them. Athletes use this technique constantly. Before competitions, they mentally rehearse success. Not because it magically guarantees results, but because it trains the brain to respond with confidence instead of panic. By visualizing yourself handling situations well, you create a mental blueprint. And when the moment actually arrives later in the day, your brain recognizes it as something familiar instead of something threatening. Step 4 takes another minute. This is where you direct your attention towards something positive but real. Think of one thing you are grateful for. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Maybe it's having a safe place to live. Maybe it's a person who supports you. Maybe it's simply the chance to start another day. Gratitude might sound simple, but it changes the brain's focus. Your mind cannot focus strongly on appreciation and stress at the same time. When you spend a moment recognizing something good in your life, your brain releases chemicals connected to calm and stability. Over time, this reduces the brain's habit of constantly scanning for threats. Now we reach the final step. Step 5 takes the last minute. Choose one small action that will move your life forward today. Not 10 actions, just one. It could be finishing part of a project, sending an important message, starting a workout, learning something new. The goal is not to plan your entire day. The goal is to create forward movement. When you define one meaningful action, your brain begins looking for the right moment to complete it. This builds momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. When you complete one meaningful action, your confidence increases slightly. That confidence makes the next action easier. Over time, small daily actions lead to large results. Now here is the moment many people overlook. This routine is not powerful because it lasts 5 minutes. It's powerful because it repeats. Your brain learns through repetition. The more often you guide your thoughts in the morning, the more automatic these patterns become. After a few weeks, you may notice something interesting. Your mind begins waking up calmer even before you start the routine. Your thoughts feel more organized. You react to stress with more control. Small problems no longer dominate your attention the way they once did. It's not because life suddenly becomes easier, it's because your mind becomes stronger. And when your mind becomes stronger, everything else becomes easier to manage. The world around you will always contain pressure, uncertainty, and unexpected problems. But when you train your mind daily, those challenges stop feeling overwhelming. Instead of reacting automatically, you pause. Instead of overthinking immediately, you refocus. Instead of feeling controlled by your thoughts, you guide them. That is what it means to reprogram your mind. Not through one dramatic change, but through small, consistent actions. 5 minutes every morning, 3 slow breaths. Choose the person you want to be. Visualize handling challenges well. Recognize something good in your life. Commit to one meaningful action. Simple steps, but repeated daily, they reshape the way your mind works. And when your mind changes, your decisions change, your focus changes, your confidence changes. Your life begins moving in a different direction. Because the truth is simple. Most people spend their entire life reacting to their thoughts. Very few people learn to guide them. And the moment you start guiding your thoughts, you stop being controlled by them. You start leading your own mind instead. And if you want to keep training your mind and learning simple habits that make you mentally stronger every day, subscribe to the channel.